From a denied seat to a transformed legacy, the story of Angela Carter. In a sleek Atlanta boardroom, Angela Carter stood across from Charles Wentworth III, the embattled CEO of Starlight Airlines. Ownership papers in hand, she fixed him with a steady gaze. "This isn't about revenge," she declared. "It's about transformation." The air crackled with tension as Wentworth, a man who had built his empire on privilege, realized his reign was over. How had Angela, a woman humiliated on his airline just days ago, turned the tables so decisively? Angela Carter, 52, was no stranger to adversity. As the founder of Carter Cybersecurity, she had built a powerhouse from a modest startup, earning respect in Atlanta's competitive tech scene. Her tailored navy suit and polished demeanor spoke of hard-won success, but the exhaustion in her eyes betrayed a grueling week. She had booked a first-class seat on Starlight Airlines Flight 472 to Seattle months in advance, craving the quiet to prepare for a pivotal investor meeting. At Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the gate agent scanned her boarding pass for Seat 2B and waved her through with a smile. But as Angela stepped onto the plane, the atmosphere shifted. Flight attendant Susan Harper's warm greeting faltered when she saw Angela. Her eyes narrowed, flicking between Angela's face and her ticket. "I need to verify this," Susan said, her tone clipped. Angela handed over her boarding pass, puzzled but composed. Susan scrutinized the ticket as if it were a forgery. "This is your boarding pass?" she asked, loud enough for nearby passengers to turn. Angela nodded, noting that white businessmen boarding behind her faced no such scrutiny. "There's a mix-up with your seat," Susan announced, her voice carrying. "Step aside while I check with the gate." Angela's pulse quickened, but she held her ground. "My seat is 2B. The gate just scanned my ticket. There's no mix-up." Susan's smile tightened. "Ma'am, please cooperate. We need to ensure everyone's in their proper place." The implication stung. Angela had faced this before, subtle biases in spaces where she didn't belong. "Is there a problem?" Captain Michael Thornton's voice cut through. Emerging from the cockpit, he took Angela's boarding pass from Susan. "Miss Carter," he read, his expression unreadable. "There's been a seat change. You'd be more comfortable in economy today." Angela's voice remained steady. "I paid for first class, booked months ago. I'm staying in 2B. Passengers were boarding now, creating a bottleneck. Among them was David Langston, a tech investor who slowed to watch, his phone half-raised. Thornton's tone turned patronizing. "I understand your frustration, ma'am, but as captain, I ensure passengers are seated appropriately." "What's inappropriate about me sitting in the seat I paid for?" Angela asked, her patience thinning. Thornton's smile vanished. "Let's not make a scene. I'm offering a solution." "The solution is to honor my ticket," Angela shot back. Thornton nodded to Susan. "Get security." The words landed like a slap. Passengers shifted uncomfortably. Some stared openly. David Langston was now recording. "You're being disruptive," Susan declared as two security officers appeared. Angela's heart pounded, but she stood tall. "I'm not leaving voluntarily. I have a valid ticket, and I'm being targeted for how I look." "Easy way or hard way, ma'am," an officer warned. With dignity intact, Angela gathered her belongings. As she was escorted off, she saw a white businessman ushered into 2B's seat. David Langston caught her eye, his nod conveying quiet support. Outside the gate, Angela's composure cracked. She called her assistant, Lauren. "Cancel tomorrow's meeting. I'm still in Atlanta. And pull everything on Starlight Airlines ownership structure." As Flight 472 taxied away, Angela's humiliation hardened into resolve. Starlight had made a grave mistake, one they'd regret. That evening, Angela paced her Buckhead penthouse, her mind racing. Screens glowed with Starlight's corporate data. Charles Wentworth III, the silver-haired CEO, epitomized inherited privilege, Princeton-educated, golf club board member, fourth-generation airline executive. Starlight, once Wentworth Airways, had grown through acquisitions but was now cash-strapped, its parent company, Wentworth Capital, seeking urgent investment. Angela's phone buzzed. Her old law school friend, Rachel Coleman, a fierce corporate attorney, didn't mince words. "File a discrimination suit. They humiliated you because you're a black woman in first class. Open and shut case." "It's not that simple," Angela replied, eyeing Starlight's declining stock chart. "A lawsuit gets me an apology, maybe money. I want just a systemic change." Rachel warned, "Wentworth runs Starlight like it's 1960. The culture's rotten from the top." A social media alert interrupted. David Langston had posted the video of Angela's removal, captioning it, Blatant racism on Starlight Flight 472. Angela Carter handled this with unmatched dignity. The post had 50,000 views and climbing. A reporter from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution called, but Angela deferred, needing time to strategize. Lauren texted, "Wentworth Capital is desperate for capital. Stocks tanking." Angela's eyes narrowed. This wasn't just a discrimination case, it was a takeover opportunity. She called her CFO, James. "Liquidate our Vertex Tech shares. I need capital now." "It's midnight, Angela. What's this about?" "Emergency meeting. 7 a.m. Bring the acquisition playbook." At Carter Cybersecurity's headquarters, the leadership team gathered in a tense conference room. Angela recounted the incident, her voice calm but resolute. Lauren displayed Langston's video, now at 3 million views, with Boycott Starlight trending. "I'm not suing for a payout," Angela declared. "I'm acquiring Starlight." James balked. "Buy an airline over one racist incident? That's personal, not strategic." "It's both," Angela countered. "Starlight's routes align with our West Coast expansion. Their tech is outdated, our expertise fixes that. And Wentworth Capital's debt makes them a bargain." She nodded to Lauren, who showed Starlight's corporate structure. "Their discriminatory culture drives lawsuits, turnover, and losses. Wentworth's mismanagement is our opening." Rachel arrived, outlining a dual strategy, a discrimination lawsuit to pressure Starlight publicly and legal protections for the acquisition. The team debated risks, but Angela's logic won out. By noon, they were buying Starlight shares quietly through subsidiaries. Meanwhile, Starlight's headquarters buzzed with panic. Susan Harper and Captain Thornton faced HR scrutiny, unaware they were pawns in a larger game. Angela met David Langston at a discreet midtown restaurant. At 48, the self-made tech investor exuded quiet confidence. "Your video changed everything," Angela said. "Why get involved?" David's jaw tightened. "My adopted daughter, Zoe, is Black. Last year, Starlight staff harassed her in first class while I was away from my seat. She was 15, in tears. Their apologies were empty. I've been tracking their discriminatory patterns since." He slid a tablet across, showing 18 months of incidents, complaints, social media posts, a clear pattern. "I heard you're buying Starlight stock," David said. "I want INME capital, your strategy. We can take control in weeks." Angela weighed his offer. "What's your endgame?" "A board seat, culture reform, a fair return, and seeing Wentworth face consequences." They hashed out terms over dinner. As Angela left, her phone rang. "Ms. Carter, this is Edward Klein, representing Starlight," a lawyer barked. "Your claims are defamatory. We've noted suspicious stock activity. Cease immediately." "Are you threatening me?" Angela asked coolly. "We'll protect our interests," Klein snapped. "I experienced discrimination, Mr. Klein. Witnesses and video back me. As for stocks, I'm just an investor seeing value." She hung up, her resolve steeling. Starlight was rattled. The battle escalated. Wentworth launched a media offensive, painting Angela as an opportunist exploiting a misunderstanding. Tabloids dug into her past, her childhood in Atlanta's housing projects, her mother's addiction, twisting her story to undermine her. Clients called, rattled by Wentworth's smears. Angela fought back strategically. David leaked internal Starlight email showing Wentworth's orders to balance demographics in first class. A former diversity officer gave a damning interview, exposing ignored reforms. Starlight stock plummeted 15%. Wentworth tried to sell Starlight to Horizon Airways, a friendly buyer. Angela's team blocked it, uncovering safety violations Wentworth had buried. The Federal Aviation Administration launched a probe, and Horizon withdrew. Then, Susan Harper reached out. At a Centennial Park cafe, the shaken flight attendant apologized. "We were trained to profile to protect the first-class experience. Captain Thornton enforced it. Now HR's scapegoating me." She offered training materials and a recorded HR meeting admitting fault. "Will you testify to investigators?" Angela asked. Susan nodded. "It's time to stand up." The shareholder meeting was a showdown. Angela, David, and Rachel entered with 24% of shares and 30% via proxies. Wentworth, polished but tense, accused Angela of a vengeful takeover. Angela countered with data, Starlight's 400% higher discrimination complaints, Wentworth's emails ordering bias, and 12 quarters of losses. "This isn't revenge," she said, facing Wentworth. "Your leadership fails by every metric." Wentworth erupted. "You're a social justice crusader with no airline experience." His outburst swayed undecided voters. The vote passed 53 to 47, transferring control to Angela's coalition. Wentworth stormed out, vowing legal battles. Angela addressed the room. "We start rebuilding now." Angela's first week as Starlight's owner was relentless. She prioritized stable operations, assuring 14,000 employees their jobs were safe. In a hangar, she addressed thousands, "Your Starlight's strength. We're changing leadership and culture, not you." She implemented zero tolerance for discrimination, revised training, and audited systems. Booking algorithms favoring certain zip codes were scrapped. Angela flew incognito, spotting subtle biases and upgrades in complaints. She met past victims, incorporating their input into reforms. Susan Harper, now on probation, helped redesign training, rooting out coded biases. Captain Thornton resigned, unwilling to face accountability. Financial audits revealed Wentworth's family siphoned funds via sham contracts. Angela pursued civil remedies, focusing on progress over retribution. 6 months later, Starlight became Unity Airlines. At a rebranding event, Angela unveiled a Boeing 787 in new colors, blue and gold, with a logo blending diverse cultural motifs. On-time performance was up 25%, customer satisfaction soared 40%, and stock rose 70%. Angela introduced the Unity Futures program, funding aviation scholarships for minorities. She spoke to a group of Black and Latina teens, inspiring a girl named Kayla to pursue piloting. "I'll fly your plane someday," Kayla said. Angela smiled. "I'll be in your first-class cabin." On Unity's inaugural Atlanta-Seattle flight, Angela sat in 2B. A note from Susan read, "Thank you for building something better." Captain Aisha Brooks, Unity's first Black female captain, welcomed passengers. As the plane soared, Angela invited Wentworth to witness the flight. "This was never about taking your seat," she told him. "It was about creating seats for everyone." Wentworth left silently, his legacy eclipsed. Unity Airlines became a beacon of inclusive excellence, proving ethics and profit could align. Angela's journey from a denied seat to a transformed industry showed that systemic change outlasts personal vengeance. What resonates with you? Angela's grace under fire, her strategic brilliance, or her mercy towards Susan? Share your thoughts below, especially on confronting injustice and violence in daily life. Should we fight like Angela, with calculated reform, or take a harder line? Your voice matters. Join the debate.